camera tells a story, not just through its specs, but through the moments it really keeps. And this one, the Sony A7C II, it has been with me 2 years and long enough for me to feel more than a memory, just than a machine. In my eyes, the Sony A7C II is like a smaller soul of the A7 IV. It's lighter, it's quiet, yet sometimes even strong. It helped me rediscover the joy of photography, simply because I could bring it everywhere without thinking it twice. It came with the same 33MP CMOS sensor as the A7 IV, but inside the body, that's smaller. The whole camera, including the battery, weighs only 514 grams. That's almost 150 grams lighter than the A7 IV. The Sony A7C II has been with us 2 years now, and the question isn't if it's still new. It's whether in 2025, the camera that once made us fall in love with photography still have the same magic. To explain it to you.
The A7C II looks familiar, but when you hold it, you feel that Sony didn't just shrink the A7 IV, they redesigned it for people who carry a camera every day. Sony added a C1 custom button, a new exposure compensation dial that can now be customized, and finally a real mode dial. Something the first A7C never had. And if you like a variety, it now comes in both silver and black, giving it a classic retro look that fits anywhere. It has a standard USB-C port with PD fast charging, USB 3.1 support for UVC live streaming output, and both mic and headphones jacks. But the dreaded micro HDMI is still here, fragile as ever. The flip screen features a 1.03 million dot panel, just like the one on the A7 IV. It also comes with Sony's latest menu system, which is a big improvement over the old layout. It's not perfect, but definitely more usable. Next, let's talk about the SD card slot, or rather the only one. Unlike the A7 IV and A7Cii, there's no dual slot set up here, and no CF Express support either. That means slower card speeds, making it less ideal for high-speed continuous shooting. And on top of that, faster cards can get pretty expensive. If you've used or expected something similar to the A7 IV, then the A7C II will feel almost the same in most ways. So let's take a look at some sample shots. Offers full pixel readout 7K oversampled, 4K at 30p or 4.6K oversampled, 4K at 60p MLT, supports XAVC SI, XAVC-HS, and XAVC-S code. Recording in 10-bit 422 with S-Log 3 and S-Cinematone included. It even allows LUT import for monitoring. While shooting in log, something that even Sony's own A7S III, a flagship video camera, doesn't have. Thanks to its high oversampling, the sharpness in video is honestly top tier. Sharper than the A7S III and even the FX6, but of course, that 7K oversampling comes with a cost. The rolling shutter is noticeably worse due to the heavy data readout. However, when shooting in XAVC 4K60, the jello effect improves a lot. The trade-off though is the same as the A7 IV. A 1.5 crop, it's a little annoying, like taking your A7C II and turning it back into Sony A6700. Not exactly what full-frame users want to see. I was hoping Sony would give us an option for 4K60 landscape mode, so we could retain that full-frame look even with a bit less sharpness. At least it lets users choose between sharpness and crop. Unfortunately, that option just isn't here. Now, let's talk about dynamic range and ISO. The A7C II performs impressively well with dual native ISOs at 800 and 3200. Even when shooting 4K 30p at ISO 6400 or pushing it up to 12800, the image still looks great. With well-controlled noise, it really carries over the A7 IV's video performance. Other than video, photography is also one of the A7C II's strongest sides. Now, I'll leave it to Longy to explain the photo samples.
The 33 megapixel sensor still performs impressively well. It delivers crispy details, rich tones, and solid ISO performance. Even in challenging light, it also supports lossless compressed RAW, giving you flexibility in space without keeping every bit of that image quality impact. The only real limitation is the maximum shutter speed of 1/4000 seconds and 8 frames per second burst rate. Not only fastest out there, but honestly, for everyday use, it's actually enough already. For the A7C II uses the NP-FT100 battery, and from my experience shooting both video and photos, 2 to 3 batteries are usually easy enough for a full day. When taking photos, heat isn't an issue as it won't go overheat. But when recording videos, it can be. So how is the overheating performance? And honestly, better than I expected, but yes, it still overheats. At the room temperature around 25 degrees Celsius, shooting at 4K 50p, the A7C II can record over an hour without any warning or shutdown. But if you go down for the 2 to 3 hours, you found it go overheat every time. As for autofocus, the Sony A7C II has 759 phase detection point, and it is Sony autofocus, so I really don't need to say much, and it just works, and you can trust it completely. The AI chip here actually recognizes more subjects than the one in A7 IV, and you can feel the difference. Even with the abstractions or tricky subjects, it still locks on the subject accurately, and it also inherits the focus grading compensation and the focus map features from the A7 IV. I thought this function would be very useful, but honestly, I rarely use them, and I don't think people use them also. So the body in the stabilization is upgraded to level 7 compared to A7 IV. It's only level 5, which is great if you are shooting handheld and staying very stable. But if you start walking, especially for vlog style videos, you'll clearly notice something missing. Dynamic active stabilization from the ZVE1. I just really don't understand why Sony don't include that here. That some people might argue that the Sony A7C II isn't meant for vlogging. But again, it includes several vlog-oriented features like auto-framing and creative flows, which lets you shoot and share instantly without Lightroom editing or any editing. So it's quite confusing that get those features, but we don't have the dynamic stabilization. Audio-wise, it's also been upgraded from the original A7C. It now supports digital input and 4-channel audio recording with noise reduction settings you can do to set on, off, auto. We are connected to an external mic through the hot shoe. You can now adjust the recording level directly in the camera, something you couldn't do before. However, compared to the ZV-E1, it still lacks the better internal microphone and AI driven mic directly. Sony likes to make every camera good at different things. So if you want all the features, well, you probably need to buy more than one. And I would say that Sony cameras are quite alike in functions. As you can see, besides SD card slots, overheating, stabilization, Sony does well on other parts. I can't really find a problem, and it just feels like Sony have a set of cards, but all about it is combination and placing them in different products. That's just Sony being Sony, and they can give you everything, but they won't. At the end of the day, the Sony A7C II isn't about changing specs or trends. It's about being there quietly when the moment happens. It's not perfect, but it is light, reliable, and honest. After 2 years, the camera still makes me want to go out and create. And maybe that's what it really matters. Not the specs, not the numbers, but one camera that keeps you inspired. That's the Sony A7C II. And for me, it's not just a camera. It reminds me of why I started shooting in the first place. And now, time to ask you guys, the Sony A7C II, will you still buy it even after 2 years? And for your idea, I'm quite interested. So just leave a comment below, and once this is all we wanted to share about the Sony A7C II. Your likes, comment, or subscribe really mean a lot to us, and you can also share this video for someone that wants to buy the Sony A7C II. It might help a lot, and last, thank you so much for watching, and see you next time.